Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. How's everybody doing today? I noticed that a lot of new Lions faithful are losing faith in everything. And I don't get it. Bandwagon fan. Bill Vogel, good to see you, man. Your Panthers. It was a valiant effort, but once the defense stopped trying, then that's what it looked like. In that second half, the defense just totally quit. I mean, we had 2 sacks. It was Roy Lopez and Aiden Hutchinson. Good to see you, Ricky Sakat. Not as bad as everybody thinks. I have the breakdown of what the schedule upcoming is for us. So let's look at that. Panthers are pooping pants and looking like Pampers again. Yes, I believe that well. But let me take these off for a second so we can see that. So with that loss, that means our best record is 11-6 we can get. As long as we win out, we have only a 14% chance of winning the division and a 94% chance to make the playoff. This was the scenario that I said wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was. Anything less than 11-6, we're out. So we basically have to win out. We have to beat Pitt, we have to win at Minnesota, and we have to win at Chicago. And that's to make the playoff. And that's the only way we're going to make it. 11-6 still may not get us in. If you look, that's only a 94%. That being said, did you guys realize the performance that Trevor Lawrence had for the Jags yesterday? Granted, it was against the Jets, but that's something not a lot of QBs have done. As a matter of fact, it's the first time in NFL history that an NFL quarterback passed for 5 touchdowns, rushed for 1 touchdown, and had 50 yards rushing, according to NFL Scorigami. Paul Jones! Yeah, they sure did. And it's actually the worst case scenario. I did not want a surging Vikings team with 2 wins going into the end of the season. I just wrote my article. I'm waiting for it to be posted on the Jaguars Roundtable IO. He looked okay. He didn't look great. He looked okay. He did what I thought he would do. I said, you watch, he's going to throw for a touchdown. Amen. And the Pats-Bills game, the Pats stopped running the ball in the second half, and that's the main reason they lost. The defense started to get gas, and Josh Allen took over. 28 points in the second half. I mean, they were up. They should have won that game running away. That's what I saw. You guys can say what you want, but I'm saying what I saw. As far the first half, we were up 24-17. The Lions were playing a great game overall, and then we couldn't get the running game going at all. I couldn't believe we had a lead with no running game. Cooking with Austin, yes, hello. Yoli, sorry to hear about your Packers. But it was on the road. Now you guys got to beat the Bears in Chicago this week, and they're surging. Yeah, we'll cover all the other teams on Wednesday. I'm going to stick to our game. We knew that you guys had a tough road test, and it sucks hearing about the torn ACL of Micah Parsons. Christian Watson is getting an MRI done on his chest today to see what's going on with him. You guys may have lost him for the season. You guys lost a cornerback. Um, and Zach Toms now is out for the rest of the season. You guys had a lot of key injuries in that game. I bet you will. You live there. I figured you would be. Yeah, they have no Micah probably for the rest of the season, and that's gonna hurt. If everybody said that was the move to put them in the Super Bowl, losing him makes Jerry look like a genius for trading him away. Uh, as much as I hate to say it, because of what you had to give up to get him, not because he was a piece you guys needed, but to lose him now when you're in the middle of a playoff push and in second place, that hurts. Um, we didn't get to see either player we added to our defense yet in Demonte Kazee or Jalen Mills. Because they weren't here long enough to get a grasp on the defense, and I'm hoping that they improve our secondary at the safety position. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are officially eliminated from the playoff. It was funny because the players didn't know it yet. But at the same time, if you look at the letter of the rule that they say, the ground cannot cause a fumble, but it can cause an incompletion. And by the letter of the rule that they describe, then it should have been called an incompletion instead of a touchdown because they said he lost control and regained it in the end zone. And if that's the case, he didn't take two steps. Both feet were down when he caught the ball and he was hit by contact. That means that the ball was separated from him. So you cannot regain it and get a touchdown because then it's never a completion because he didn't take two steps and do a football move. That's the letter of the rule. So it's either one way or the other. Either he was short and it's a catch, or it's not a catch at all. The fact it got ruled a touchdown was laughable, but it isn't the reason why we lost. We lost because our defense couldn't stop a cold in the third quarter. We let them score 17 points, and we never fully recovered. We never got back. By the letter of what they said, going by what the ref said, that he lost control on the ground and got it back in the end zone, he didn't take a step. Thomas Harper was on him at the point he caught the ball and he went to the ground. I'm saying that too. If it had been ruled properly as a catch and down at the one, they probably still would have scored. So I'm not saying that's the reason we lost. I'm just saying what the refs explained is not possible. It's Dallas. And don't forget, prior to that, they still had Quinn and Williams. Morning TD catches are like horseshoes and hand grenades. Close enough count, evidently. Uh, in global thermal nuclear war. But it is what it is. I don't think that's the reason we lost. I think the reason we lost is our defense stopped playing to their potential. We had two straight 3-and-outs while they scored touchdowns. You can't do that in the NFL. That's right, Dwayne. Hello. Good to see you. Hutchinson had a sack. Roy Lopez had a sack. LKD Muhammad had two QB hits. We did have pressures. We just weren't getting home. Good to see you, Nick Burton. Will Vogt, good to see you. Congratulations to the Seahawks on coming back to win against a 44-year-old QB that should have never been able to throw a touchdown versus your defense. A guy on 3 days practice after being out of the league for 5 years. It was laughable. I think you guys are a great team with the Seahawks, but the fact you guys had 5 field goals in the game to win is astounding. Yep, Jets fired their DC Wilkes because they gave up something no defense has ever done in NFL history to a quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, 5 touchdowns, 4 different receivers, 2 to at the end on screen and screen passes and bubble screens. Jalen Coker had a touchdown. God, I mean, they passed it around to 4 different receivers. And he had 51 yards rushing with the touchdown on a 15-yard designed run play for Trevor Lawrence. He had one hell of it's a historic performance. You can say what you want. I think he threw for 338 yards, if I wrote that right. Yeah, 330 yards and a career high 5 touchdowns. He had another 51 yards rushing with a touchdown on the ground. His final passer rating was a 136.7. In the first quarterback in NFL history to record at least 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdowns, and 50 yards rushing in the game, according to NFL Scoregami. So that being said, what an amazing, amazing, amazing performance by Trevor. It looked like he passed it to him. It was what a play. He damn near. It was 58-yard scamper he had after he caught that. If he'd have cut to the right, he'd have been free. When he cut back to the left, he gave the other guy the angle to catch him. If he'd have went right, he was gone. But we still scored a touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown on that play, and we were the first ones to score because of that interception. And that was a QB hit by LKD Muhammad, who came in untouched from the left side. Say what you want. The Bears and the Vikings have victory Monday, and the Lions and Packers are licking wounds because we lost. I know. I don't want Matt Nagy, even if he is fired. I think he's an awful everything. He's just a clipboard holder there in KC. Andy Reid calls the plays. Um, Losing Pat Mahomes and then putting Gardner Minshew in, who threw a pick to seal the game, helped my cause. I said the Chargers would win. I said the Chiefs would be eliminated this week, and they were. Ravens beating the Bengals. Jets getting smoked by the Jags, all of that combined equals the Chiefs not in the playoffs, plus now Patrick Mahomes out for the year with an ACL injury. It it, it was funny because Chris Jones was at the podium and he goes, "Oh, we've been here before where we had 6 wins and we won out to get in the playoffs, and until we're eliminated, I can't say we're out." Your debt. I've said we're a good, not great team. I've said this all along, and we still are. We hung with the Rams the entire game. So I don't. That's the best team in the league right now, overall. Can't say it's the Patriots. They lost. Can't say it's the Colts. They've been on a downhill swing ever since they started losing. I agree, Bill. And we still have yet to see Hassanin take the field, who's been healthy since week 7 and signed since week 11. A 7th-round draft pick who hasn't even been a call-up because we've had so many injuries to the secondary. And if you really look at it, even though we got 13 players on the IR, I don't either. I'm not going to downplay it. That's going to hurt their defense a lot because with he's in there, that's what freed up everybody else, and now they can key off on everybody. So that defense is going to change. But if you look, 7 of our players, Ennis Rakenstraw, he wasn't going to be a starter. Giovanni Manu, not a starter. Colby Salzdar, not a starter. Ezekiel Turner, not a starter. Jamarco Jones, not a starter. Dan Jackson, not a starter. Zach Cunningham, not a starter. So that's 7 of our players on IR that wouldn't have even been starting on this team in the first place. They were depth. So we got 6 key injuries. Terrion Arnold, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Christian Mahogany, who's actually practicing on the sideline and may be back as of this week coming up. So it's not all as doom and gloom as everybody's making it out to be. Plus, we have yet to see DeMonte Casey or Jalen Mills take the field yet. Hey, Grandma Trace. Good to see you, Trace. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, he had shoulder surgery. He had shoulder surgery Thursday. And yes, injuries happen. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. But again, if you look at it here, the breakdown, we have to win out if we want into the playoffs. If we lose any one of these next 3 games, we're not getting in. That's what it is. Shit happens, LOL. And I said our window of wins was 11-13 to begin with, and 13 went away real quick when we lost our 5th game to the Packers. Now we've lost our 6th game, so we have to win out. So get your shit together, defense. Let's see what Kazee and Jalen Mills has left in the tank because they're not ancient, but they're not young either. They're vets. They're both 28 and 29 years old. I think one might be 30. I think Kazee's 30. Possible, not probable. And Jordan Love doesn't look as great as everybody thought he was either. I mean, look at that game he just had. That wasn't his best game. It's weird. We seen Goff have a heck of a game. Vikings win out. Good luck with that, Jonathan Wilkelman. That's all I got to say. Good luck with it. You got to play the Packers in week 17 yet. You got to play us in week 17 and the Packers soon. Week 18. Good luck. Same with us. It's good luck. We have to win out. I think the Rams and the Jags are closest. Actually, let's look at the standings right now. New England Patriots are 11-3. 12-2. The Broncos are the best team in the NFL right now. The Rams are 11-3, just like the Patriots, as are the Seattle Seahawks, and the 49ers are 10-4. The Bears are 10-4. The Chargers are 10-4. The Jacksonville Jaguars 10-4. It's crazy that if the Steelers lose to the Dolphins tonight, they're still leading the division at 7-7. I know. Just like there was 0 penalties against the Chiefs in that game. I hear you. But it is what it is. The game's over. Time to move on. Tomorrow will be PFF Tuesday. McCarthy doesn't either. Who would have thought Nix would be great? I said Bo Nix was one of the better quarterbacks coming out, and he went to possibly the best situation with that great defense and a decent offensive line, and it's looking like I was right. It was less about how good of a player he was and where he went with Sean Payton. JJ, I saw him become a handoff merchant against good teams through Michigan. It also has to do with fit. It has to do with scheme. It has to do with everything. If you guys play a simplified deep offense, JJ looks better. That naked boot where he kept it, they didn't know where that ball was. That was one of the best hides I've seen because it literally looked like he gave it to CJ Ham. Yes, they are. It takes the Seahawks have a big test coming up because the Bears, they got to play the Bears. So don't say that's not going to be a test because the Bears are playing really good football. And if they get turnovers, they win games. Every single game they've won, they got turnovers. That's the key to beating the Rams. Don't turn the ball over. Kind of hard if your quarterback is Shaduki Sanders, who took 3 of them yesterday. He looked okay. He threw a touchdown in that game versus the Seahawks. He wasn't awful. He just wasn't good. He was just average at best. I had people telling me that this guy had a good game yesterday versus the Bears. And I'm saying, how the hell did he? Wait till you see it. This guy, 177 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a 30.3. My assessment of the game, I'll give it in a nutshell. Yes, he did. My overall assessment of the game is offensively, we looked good to the second half. We had a lead. We were doing well. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm talking about the game now, Kevin, because let me finish talking about the game. We played good offensively. The defense didn't do enough. We needed better pressure on Matt Stafford to force more interceptions, and we didn't get it. The only sacks we got was from Aiden Hutchinson. What happened in the second half? Defensively, they made adjustments, and we didn't. That's what happened. The defense came out for the Rams and stuffed us. Muhammad didn't get a sack. He's still at 9.5. But that didn't make a difference in the game. They still would have scored a touchdown if it had been ruled properly. So it is what it is. Yep, he was good. Our leading tackler, once again, was Jack Campbell. He was all over the place, but he didn't get a lot done at the line like he usually does. I don't know what happened there. Normally he's better at stopping the run at the line than what he did yesterday, and that hurt us too. And the fact weren't able to run the ball. Gibbs and Monty combined for 60 yards and a touchdown by David Montgomery. So lack of run production, lack of being able to sustain drives in the second half. The first half, he didn't own us. You say what you want, Jonathan Winkleman. In the first half, we owned Matt Stafford. We fell apart defensively and offensively. You had 2 straight 3 and out. You can't have that. That was Williams too. They both did. I'm not sugarcoating anything. Kyron Williams had 15 carries for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Blake Corum had 11 for 71 and 1 touchdown. So that right there, we still haven't given up a single. We still haven't given up a single 100-yard rusher this season. Thank you. My article will be up later this afternoon. I sent it in this morning. I called it a tale of 2 halves. We were dominant in the first half. Yes, but at the same time, I don't think it cost us the game because they'd have been on the half-yard line and probably punched it in because we weren't stopping them on the goal line. That's the type of guy Jamo is. He doesn't take things very seriously. He doesn't get upset. He laughs stuff off when he's upset. And people got to get that through their heads. He's built different. He's just different mentally. The guy doesn't let crap phase him. I love that about Jamo. Amon-Ra had damn near a career game and we lose. Both him and Jamo had a great game. 13 catches for 164 yards, 12.6 average, along with 52 and 2 touchdowns by Amon-Ra. Jameson Williams had 7 for 134, 19.1 average, a 31-yard long on 9 targets. Amon-Ra was targeted 18 times with 13 receptions. Right there is 20 of your receptions. The other 5 came from Jahmyr Gibbs and 1 by Khalif Raymond. Goff was 25 of 41 for 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, and 111.6 passer rating. I can. The biggest difference is not having TA on the field. With him being out for the season, Amik Robertson can't cover Puka. Neither can DJ Reed, evidently. Was there other penalties missed? Probably, and I don't want to get into that because you know what? We shouldn't have had it in a situation where the refs can control the outcome of the game. And I'll leave it at that. We came out with the ball with a touchdown lead. We should have drove down and at least scored a field goal, and it had changed the complexion of the game. Instead, no, we go 3-and-out. Why? We went pass, pass, pass because we weren't able to run. We had one run for 3 yards and then 2 incompletions and punted away. And they weren't horrible throws. They were catchable balls. It wasn't bad until we got middle of the third quarter. I think it was our third drive, and everything started to fall apart already. We finally sustain a drive. We finally score, and the defense can't stop them on the next drive. It was one thing after another. We didn't turn the ball over at all, and they did. That's the difference in this game. And we won the turnover battle, but we couldn't win on the ground. Oh, we were 1 for 4 on 4th down because once we got down by 2 scores, we had to. JMO just shrugs things off, and he has that happy-go-lucky attitude. I love it about him. But overall, I'm not losing faith in the team. I still think we got a shot. Maybe Mahogany comes back because Tristan Colon was awful. The pressure was coming from inside of Taylor Decker all day long. There was one where Decker gave up, and there was one where the guy came around Sewell. He really didn't engage him. He kind of stayed at arm's length and spun around him. And once he gets past him, he can't touch him or it's a block in the back or a hold. So, but maybe the hold would have been better. Who knows? Because it would have been a replay of down. See, that's just it. JMO wasn't raised like we were. This is a different society now, Kevin. Us older cats, we were raised differently. We were raised to react differently. These new kids are not raised the same. Neither do I, and I heard we were. Is Jason or JMO? I think JMO's a solid number 2. I don't think he's a number 1. Just think, if Phillip Rivers he got paid number 2 money. Everybody acts like he got paid $30-40 million. He didn't. He's a solid number 2, and he got number 2 money. He was given $25 million a year. Number 1s are getting 40 and 30, 35 and $40 million a year. So you got to look at it that way. I haven't heard that yet. So until I hear it from Alan Park, I'm not believing it. Like I said, I get the coach pressers and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it wasn't JMO's fault. We lost. He played well. Amon-Ra played well. Goff played well. Our running backs didn't do shit. Let's call it like I see it. Goff was 25 of 41, which is 61% for 330 plus yards. There are 38 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a QBR of 111.6. He's not the fault we lost either. He did his job. Everybody expected Matt Stafford to talk shit about Jared Goff and the Lions when he did his interview on Thursday before this game, and he came out and said nothing but good things. And I think he took the hate out of our Lions. He sucked the hate right out of him. He goes, Jared Goff has done great with the Lions. He's a big reason why they're turning things around. That takes the hate out of you. You know what I'm saying? It takes that fire out of you. I'm not saying that I don't know what happened to the defense. In the first half, they looked great. In the second half, they fell apart, specifically in that third quarter, because we couldn't stop them. 17 points when you're only up 7. That's a 10-point swing. We only gave up, what was it, a field goal in the last half? Or was it? No, I can't even remember how the scoring went. Let me look. It just, the whole game bothered me. No, they punted in the fourth. David Montgomery got his touchdown in the fourth quarter with 2:52 in. I know they scored. I got to see it. Yeah, touchdown to Colby Parkinson for 11 yards. That extra point was good. Yeah, the running game was horrible. And it's not like your running game was great last night versus the Cowboys, but it was effective enough to set up the play action for McCarthy. That's what I saw. But McCarthy being free and being able to do 60 yards combined, one touchdown by David Montgomery. That's it. That's all we had on the ground. They made adjustments we didn't. That's what I saw defensively. Yeah, one week we do a great O-line play, and the next week we don't. This week we were the sign of a still rebuilding team. It took 8 years of Howie Roseman rebuilding the Eagles before they won their Super Bowl. 8 years before they won their first. And then another 5 before they won their second. Or was it? No, it's 6. Because they won it in the 2024 season. So I don't get why everybody thinks year 5, it's just automatically going to happen. We're having a letdown year. And it might be the best thing that could have happened for us. Because guess what? If we just make the playoffs, we get stuck with that 18th pick overall and bounce out in the wild card round. That means our best picks are probably somebody like Jack Campbell, Malik Williams, or whatever leftover scraps out of the top 5 left tackles are left, or centers. You miss the playoffs, and then you're picking in that 17 and under, where better players are. But at the same time, just because you have a top 5 pick doesn't mean you're going to hit every year. Even a top 10 pick. That's why we traded back for Gibbs, because Brad was going to take Gibbs at 6. We traded back with Arizona because they wanted Paris Johnson Jr., and they knew that either the Falcons or the next team was taking him. So they traded up and took him, and the Falcons went Bijan Robinson. I still say Gibbs is the better running back than Bijan Robinson because he's a more all-around player. And I'll defend that pick to the day I die. I don't know if we would be. I was never happy with AG's defensive coordinator calling. I called it out every week. We always gave up yards. Always. Do you realize we've given up 300-yard passers, and they've all been in the last 4 weeks? That's it. All season. Lamar Jackson didn't do it. Pat Mahomes didn't do it. Jordan Love hasn't done it. Yeah. Jets and Giants have been rebuilding since their second win of the Super Bowl with Eli Manning. And the Jets, they've been rebuilding since Broadway Joe. And I'm going to say this to Vikings fans. You've got to give JJ another year. This essentially is like a redshirt rookie year in college after his first year injury. He's only played 8 games as a starter. And I think he's 4-4? Or is he 3-5? I can't remember. I don't think our Super Bowl window is closed. I think it depends on what happens this offseason. And I'll make my judgment then. And I said this. As long as we have Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, I don't think it's closed. And if we win out, we'll probably make the playoffs. Without Parsons, without Christian Watson, without a cornerback, without Zach Tom, is the Packers still a Super Bowl team? Think about that. They lost Zach Tom for the season. They lost Micah Parsons for the season. Christian Watson, you don't know how long he'll be out, but almost always, every time he gets injured, he's out 3 to 4 weeks. That means through the end of the season. Zach Tom, that's huge. That's their starter on the O-line. Yet we're complaining because we lost 2 safeties on the back end of our secondary. We signed 2, which we haven't seen yet. And I'm not saying we will see them, because what if Monty can't get it together in practice? Plus, he's kind of been a penalty magnet his last few years. I like giving it the real, but the Monty Kazee, exactly. And what it is, we had a lot of the wine and cheese fans. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jonathan Munkelman? The guys that came in because we were good. And some of them are actually beat writers. And they sit there and they glaze it up like we're supposed to be so great. And when we lose, they make us look pitiful. It was a tale of 2 halves. That's what it was. Matt Stafford took over the second half. And our defense laid there and took it. You guys are 2-2 against us right now, Jimmy Blaze. So Rams are not our daddy. You didn't blow us out. You know what? That type of stuff is what gets people blocked on this channel. Don't use that type of stuff. Do not talk with that type of language in here. This is not a shit talking channel. This is a Lions Talk channel. All right. Done. This is not the place for it. I already did. I don't know how we got back in there. Whoa. I got to fix that. Wish Moonscar was here, but evidently he doesn't show up in those things. Sorry about that, Jim Jackson. I was trying to get rid of the guy above you, and you commented at the wrong time. So you're still there, Jimmy. And I also made you a moderator to help. Jimmy is out. Jimmy Z Place 13 is banned for their comments. I'm done. But Jimmy, just for you and the missus. tough game. We couldn't get the run going, which is we had some Rams guy sitting there coming in and calling Lions fans pussies, and I was trying to block him, and your comment came in at the wrong time because you weren't here the whole show, so I thought I was erasing him. That being said, his comments are gone. It won't be on there. No, it's not really going to be hard. I think I named all the best teams already. And right now, the Detroit Lions are not one of the best teams. Let's face it. I had us in the top 15 last week after the win. Now, after this, we're going to drop out of that. We're probably sitting between 15 and 17. Yeah, I made you a monitor. Yes, we do. Um, and it was lack of pressure in the whole second half, which made our corners be out there. I don't know why we ran man coverage. I said we needed to run zone, and we didn't. Uh, with the loss of TA, Brian Branch, and Kirby Joseph possibly being out the season, we should have been running zone, and we didn't. We ran man, and I think a couple times we did a man zone cover too. And even our safeties that were there couldn't keep up with them. So yes, I made you a moderator. Don't worry, we Vikings are bottom 10. For now, I think you're actually getting closer to 22 to 20. I you guys got 4 wins. There are 5 wins now. Yeah, 5 and 8. Absolutely. I've been having this discussion about DJ Reed for a while. Who is the best in the AFC right now? It's the Broncos. And I said they might be. I know it isn't the Chiefs. Chiefs are eliminated. 6 and 8. Bye bye. And I said that would happen. Defense. That's what the Bills are missing. Their defense is so it's just as bad as ours. It's one week they're great and the next week they're not. I I kind of feel the same way. But if you make it to the playoffs, you've always got a chance. The New York Giants proved that back at 9 and 8 years, going all the way to the Super Bowl and winning. I want to see how we look this week. If we can use people like Demonte Kazee and Jalen Mills over the Legion of Whom. Those are names that are known. One is a Super Bowl champion. The other one was the interception leader one year, co-interception leader. And that was 2018. That was Demonte Kazee. And uh, right now, you would have to say it's Broncos, Patriots, Jaguars, Bills, Texans. Baltimore is out. As far as I'm concerned, they're not even in first place in their division. Think of this. We scored 34 points on the best team in football. We are still in the hunt and very dangerous. Amen. And that's what I'm saying. 2 years they did it with Eli. That defense is why they won. That's what we need to step up with us. I know. I thought I'd see him because they won. You know, I wanted to give them congratulations. They smoked the Browns. Why? Because Shaduki Sanders is Shaduki Sanders. 18 of 35, a 30.3 rating. He falls into that same place. Yep, Shaduki, right in his drawers. He was awful. Torn ACL. Him and Pat Mahomes. How awful is that? You know, one team wasn't going to make it, and one head was controlling their destiny. And while he was on the field, they were leading the Broncos. After he went off the field, the Broncos went on a tear. Don't sugarcoat it. That was bad. So let's get into those standings again. Because it's time for me to do the division breakdown like we always do. What's up with the ACLs? That one was a contact one. If you saw it, it looked like he was starting to run funny and he was tackled from behind. And what's crazy is he hadn't even thrown the ball yet when the guy made contact and the ref was already throwing the flag. Oh, it was such an awful look. But it is that time to do this. In the basement. In the basement at 6-8. The Vikings are skull buck. He has been. At 8-6, we got to win out or we're not getting in. That's all there is to it. One pride. At 9, 4-1. It's FTP. Fuck the pack. And in first place, at 10-4, it's fuck the Bears. Who'd have thought LGBTQB1 would be leading this team like that? And I'm coming live out of Flint for the water shit, but the tires are good. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Make sure you hit like wherever you are watching your shows because it helps everybody in the network, whatever platform you're on, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Rumble, whether it's YouTube, whether it's and whether it's my page, the Huddles page, or main event page. Yep, I believe so. I think he's just got to get that one thing right or the other. Because guess what? We saw consistent offense 2 weeks in a row. The only thing that wasn't consistent was the running game. But offensively, we still scored over 30 points. You should win those games if your defense plays decent. This has been Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. I am out, and I'll see you tomorrow with PFF Tuesday.
Jeremy's in the booth taking us higher with the grin and
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.